Hey there, welcome back. Dave Gardner here from MLM Drip. And I just want to run through a couple things with you as far as the team building bonuses that you could possibly get from your binary matrix. And so I'm just going to set this up here. We don't need that for the moment. What often happens is you need to have a certain amount of people in action or active members, or sometimes they call them volume, so on and so forth, on both legs. It's not just about having one leg active, it's about having both legs active. And so a lot of the numbers you see are very similar. The top number 2 to 4 or 4 to 2 is in a program, for example, that I work with that has active members. The 300 to 600 or 600 to 300 is another program that I also work with where we really talk and focus about volume. And so you have to look into the details of the companies that you decide to work with, because some may talk about just active numbers, some may talk about volume. So make sure you're following the right path. So I just want to show you an example. So let's say you're at the top and you start to sponsor people. And when you first start to sponsor, you maybe want to rotate between both legs. If you have spillover, which we talked about in another video, maybe someone from above you is placing someone below, okay? So you're the black, let's say, and let's say your sponsor was up here. Let's say your sponsor placed someone on this part, because your sponsor also is helping build that power leg. And so what happens is you start to build up numbers. And so right now we have 2 people on the left, but only 3 people on the right that are active. So let's just assume everyone's active. They just start, everyone's fresh, everyone's actively engaged. So right now I have not met this qualification of 2 to 4. Now it could be 4 to 2. The 4 could have been on this side and the 2 could have been on this side. So really these are just reverses. It's just basically I have to have 2 on one side and 4 on the other, or twice as many, okay? Once you get to at least 2 active members on this side, if I get another member in, or even if my upline puts another member in, I've met my first cycle. So let's say my upline puts in another member there. So now I have 4 to 2. So that means I've met one cycle. Let's say I start to sponsor again, and I sponsor the next person here. So now I have 3 to 4. I want to try to maybe keep a little balance. We'll do the next one. Okay, so now I have 4 and 4. But I want to make sure that I have double on one side. So the next step up, if I have 2 to 4, really that's 4 is to 8. Okay, 4 is to 8. So after I have 4, what I really want to do is work with my upline, and I'm going to put in the next person here, next person here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're at a 4 to 6. We're still not qualified for that second cycle. Maybe they put in 1 as they grow, but they're also building their other legs. So you have to keep that in mind. It may take time for that to happen with spillover. So let's say they put someone in, and then finally you put someone in. Okay? So finally now I got 4 and 8 here. As this continues to grow, now I've met my second cycle. So that might be an increase in commission. They are just extra bonus commissions that you get on top of your upfront commissions, or let's say if someone is involved in a monthly recurring stream of product or services, you might get a commission from that on the front end, and this might be a back end matrix bonus or volume bonus that helps out in the long run. Now the same thing would happen with points. Let's say these people are buying things, and let's say this person bought 150 points worth of stuff or volume. This person bought 50. So really I'm only at 200 on this side, but this person buys 100. Now I'm at 300 on the left. And let's say we got 100, we got 100, we got 200, and we got 200. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I got 600 points on my right side, and I got 300 points on my left. I've met one cycle, or I've met one rotation if I'm on a plan like this, 300, 600, 600, 300. Again, the same thing. The 600 and 300 could have been reversed. But let's say we have another 200, 200, and 200. So now I have 1,200 over here, but we got our 300, so that kind of cuts that off. But let's say we only have another 200 here. I have to wait. Even if this gets into 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, if I only have 200, I don't make a cycle yet. So we need to get more people to build that cycle and create that volume. The same thing would go here with the numbers. If I have 1,000 people in my downline on one side that are active, but I only have 2 on my left leg or my other leg, that's only one cycle. but every 2 more people that you make active is another cycle. Okay, so that could be a commission bonus based on the terms and agreements of that company that you might work with. So that's a little bit about how the cycling usually works, just in a generic active member basis or a volume basis. Again, you need to look into the details of your program. If you want to work with me, you can look details further below to see some of the programs that I work with. One of them works with the numbers. One of them works with the actual point values as far as volume. So we have active members and we have volume. So again, we have lots of options, but in reality, their concept is the same. But it doesn't matter if I have thousands or hundreds of thousands on one side. If I don't start building the other side, it's never going to work. So hopefully you found some value in explaining, for examples, matrix cycles. We'll call this matrix cycles or binary matrix cycles, or matrix bonus cycles. Okay, and that's where you're going to earn some commissions. One of the great things and great potentials you have with something like a team building matrix, as other people start to grow, so this person brings in someone who then brings in someone who then brings in someone, and they start to sponsor people. Maybe there's another 200, maybe someone is a big one, they buy $1,000 worth of material, and this could happen over time. This person just starts out and they buy 50. It starts to take off and grow. Again, we'll have something like this over here. Maybe this person comes in and starts getting people 50, 200. And the next thing you know, you are doing less work, but your team is building overall. That doesn't mean you should stop. Continue to focus on helping your team. Continue to spill over and add people below on both sides on the outside, because it's your outside people, the original people you sponsored. So as you continue to put people below them, you're continuing to help them. Don't worry about these inside legs. Okay, this leg right here was this person's responsibility. So you're only responsible for your outside legs. It's one of the biggest things that people make a mistake on. I made a mistake on that in the beginning myself, and I ended up having like 5 or 6 different places where I had people that I kind of felt obligated to help them out instead of just leave them straggling over time. So you really want to make sure in the beginning, as you're first starting out, that you only focus on those 2 legs. So again, this has been Dave Gardner with the MLM Drip. You want to find out more how you can work with me? All you got to do is take a look and we'll move from there. So if you have any questions or comments, just hit me up at davegardner@magneticsponsors.com, and we look forward to seeing about your success in the near future.